Okay, so now we're going to dive into some of the similarities between Aslan and Jesus. Now, obviously, we've been mentioning these a lot because there are quite a few. C.S. Lewis shows the similarities between the Passion of Christ and the Passion of Aslan. Both had few close friends and would seek comfort from them. For instance, Jesus had his disciples and other followers and would, seek comfort from them. Aslan had, basically, at least in this story, the children, specifically Susan and Lucy, he goes to for support and comfort, especially on his way to his death. Both Jesus and Aslan had enemies who tortured and ridiculed them. Obviously, Jesus with his death on the cross, and Aslan with his death on the stone tables. And both weren't just, they were tortured, obviously, physically, but also mocked and ridiculed and all that horrible stuff. They were both tied down and savagely executed. The bodies of both of them were ministered to by friends. For Aslan, he had the field mice who nibbled away at the ropes, and Jesus had Nicodemus and some other people take his body take his body and placed it into the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea. So there's some similarities there. We've already kind of touched on the stone table. So the empty table shows, the empty tomb. Yeah, I think I've mentioned this already, but the table was split in two, and when Christ was crucified, the veil in the temple was torn, and that veil was separating them from the people in the most holy place in the temple. And now there was no need for that separation with Christ's death. Now they could enter God's presence at any time. In the same way, the table was cracked in two. This was meant for a traitor to be killed on, and now that can't happen anymore. Both with Aslan and Jesus, forgiveness is complete. Like with their sacrifices, forgiveness is complete. They both reveal to the ones they love that they are indeed alive and are alive in a new way. Jesus appearing to the women, the disciples, and then, before he ascended back to heaven, appeared to over 500 people. Aslan, of course, revealed to Susan and Lucy that he was alive, and then obviously restored the statues and showed up at the battle, and everyone saw.